Okay, this will be a video chart on BEDA. Been a while since I did this one, and it's been making some action, but needs updated. And first, all these lines you see are just from the previous times I've done it. The last time I did it, or maybe it was just one of my normal annotated charts, I was talking about how we had broken out of a pattern here. So if I take this and draw this down, or we can, depending on how you want to do it, we had a breakout of a trend line, and what I was talking about was, well, if we're going to get true confirmation, we need to see how it reacts when it gets up here by this orange line, which is the 200-day simple moving average. And I'm not saying it's a false breakout quite yet, but so far, this has acted as a resistance, and as you can see, has knocked down the price all the time. It's hit it. On this day, we got above it intraday, but then you can see it ended up closing right there below it, and then today, the price fell back down. So the first attempt at the 200-day simple moving average, which is always a key resistance level, was a failure. The bulls tried, but couldn't quite do it. But with that being said, I can get rid of these lines too. I'm going to leave this one up here since it is actually a nice support level now. And as you can see, that's kind of right where the price closed today. Extend that out a little bit. But this is not the only support. The chart has a nice trend to it now. Let's bring this up here. And, since back here in early January, you can see that this trend line has been slowly creeping up. So the bulls have been putting in higher highs and higher lows, which is always a good thing. But it's looking like we're encountering a pullback here. And from a drastic perspective, as long as this trend line here holds, which you can see is basically the same as this purple line here, the 50-day simple moving average, then the chart's going to remain looking fine and bullish. So technically, tomorrow it could come all the way down here and then bounce off. And as long as we get the close above this purple or this blue line here, then things are going to be fine because you'll put in yet another higher low. Remember, trend lines are just simply drawn by putting in higher lows. So you can see each one of these lows is higher than the previous one, and as long as this line holds, that'll remain to hold true. Now, ideally, this line will hold the rest of the time. We'll get some sideways action here, and then see a move upwards. Does that need to happen? No, but that's would definitely be a best case scenario. In terms of resistance levels, the obvious one is just this 200-day simple moving average here. That's the key one that we need to get through, and I'm going to make that one extra thick to remind it. Right now, it's valued right here at 0.0025, and then after that, really, there's going to be a minor one up here. But what I'm going to do is make that one a little skinnier because I think, especially with the high volume, if there's a high volume break of this resistance, then I don't see this level up here at 0.0028 putting in much of a fight. I'm not going to go and find any other resistance levels right now. One step at a time. First, got to make sure we go through a healthy consolidation here, or if we start to get moving back up, we first got to get through these resistance levels before we start talking about anything else. As always, keep your eye on volume. If you do get some more red candles, the less volume the better. So even with pull or sideways days, if candles are going sideways, the less volume you have during that, the better. We don't want to see any big red volume bars like this on huge candles. That was a nice thing about today was, yes, it was a pretty big red candle, but then when you correspond that to the actual volume, it wasn't anything like a day like this or anything like a day like that. So yes, there was selling, but it looks like it was just simply some profit takers, probably a few people getting impatient wanting to go play something else. But for the time being, your support levels are holding up. You're still well above our overall trend line, and that's going to be the key. So as long as that happens, the daily chart's going to remain in a good solid position. If there are any other questions, though, on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, and then with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from penny stocks up to big boards. So there's a good variety, and best part is it's all free, no strings attached, so it's worth at least signing up and giving it a try. One more time, this was BEDA. Thanks for listening.